Peter, we talk quite a lot about the mysteries, and it's this wonderful word, the mysteries. But can you explain to us a little bit what we mean when we actually say that?
Mystery or something. Well, it actually comes from a Greek word, mysteria, and it means entering into the secrets of life, really, which are a mystery. They're secrets, but they're meant for us to discover, but we have to work for it. In fact, we have to practice it, practice these secrets to get to know it. So a mystery also referred to a drama that contains the wisdom in it, the wisdom of the universe, all the truths of the universe. So special drama was created with this, like the Shakespeare dramas, or most of them at any rate, they contain this wisdom within it, and then it shows people acting their lives out, either revealing that wisdom or doing exactly the opposite and making a mess of the whole thing.
Yes.
but the structure of the play is still based on this wisdom.
And we learn from mistakes, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Shakespeare plays and other works of Shakespeare have been great teachers to me.
Yeah.
And so I've given Wisdom Shakespeare events for a long, long time with others. But it's basically a drama. And as Shakespeare says we're all actors on the stage of the world.
Yeah.
So as actors we could either be mystics who take part in the mystery, or we're just ordinary people who have no idea about any of it, or perhaps don't care about it. But once you become a mystic in the Greek system of the mystery schools, as they call them, they had degrees of initiation. So you first become a kathar, which means one who's purified in their emotions or desires. So you make your desires loving, basically. You have good desires.
Yes.
And that's then you're a kathar.
Yeah, and that's not easy, is it?
That's not easy. No. I mean, it's symbolised by being washed through with water, clean with water. So Christian baptism is based on that same principle. And then you go into the second degree after being a kathar, you go into the mysteria, the mystery, and become a mystic.
Yeah.
A word, a mystic, comes from it. In Greek it's mystes.
Yeah.
And you both see and take part in sacred drama that shows the underlying wisdom. And through that experience you get to know the truth, because you're actually acting it, you're doing it. So you start to get a knowledge about it, what works and what doesn't work.
I call that kind of like a cellular level of knowing. It's experiential.
That's right. And the Shakespeare plays, again, are like that. You know, some of the plays show you, like the comedies, you know, if people are powered really by love, even though they make mistakes, it leads to a pretty good ending. But if they're powered by things like hate or revenge and so on like that, it ends up with ghastliness for everybody, you know. Except usually, even in the tragedies, Shakespeare puts in some sort of saving grace, something that's pure and loving, which actually redeems something of the not so good characters.
So it just needs a ray of light, doesn't it? One good deed or one good intent. Yeah.
Because really the essential thing is trying to teach, you know, the real wisdom is that God is love. But there's so many different aspects of love, different ways of experiencing it or giving it out to others. We relate to each other differently and the world around us differently. You know, there's different aspects of love. How do we truly love in the right ways?
Yes.
That are good for everybody. So love it, you can say, oh yes, the truth is love, but actually to know it in all its fine detail takes lifetime, or perhaps thousands of lifetimes.
Quite a few for most of us, I think.
Yes. And sometimes we only learn by the opposite. You know, we've done something wrong or bad, or somebody else does, and you really say, oh, mustn't do that again. You know it's wrong, so therefore you know then the opposite is what is right, is good. And so I guess that's why we're in a universe, in a world that allows these things. you know, we have the choice of doing good or doing bad.
Yeah.
But I think that's so that we learn, like you can only know what light is by the contrast with darkness.
Yes.
You know, it's that sort of thing.
And I think we can all relate to the fact that, you know, somebody can tell us, don't do that. It's like, you know, the standard one is saying to a child, don't touch the fire. But they still have to do it to find out for themselves that the reason you don't do it is because it hurts.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Bacon actually writes an essay of truth, it's called. And he says, truth is like the naked daylight. You know, it's absolute daylight, light everywhere, naked. It's just light.
Yeah.
But he said people prefer the candlelights.
Yeah, no, he's so right.
And he's so right, because that's what we live in. And of course in those days it was candles that lit the theatre too.
Yeah.
But it produces shadows and dancing shapes and so on like that. And we prefer it because we actually live in it, in this world.
Yes.
This world is a world of candlelights. But it's through that we learn. We learn what light is, what love is. Because light's the radiance of love.
Yeah, I mean now we'd sort of probably think of truth as being like being caught in the spotlight. And we say that caught, don't we? Caught in the spotlight. There is nowhere to hide. All of the mucky bits show up. so yes, we prefer the shadows because they
that's right.
They help us conceal.
And in the mystery tradition, they are trying to pass on the wisdom already learned.
Yeah.
And produce mysteries. Mysteries usually based on a story that's created, partly historical, partly invented, but with the wisdom in it, and we call it a myth.
Yeah.
And these are always related to the land. The great myths related to the landscape, because the land is the stage on which we act our parts, our roles in life.
Makes complete sense.
Yeah, and there's wisdom in both.
Yeah.
Wisdom in the story, wisdom in the land, but also wisdom in ourselves, which we have to bring out.
Now the Western mystery tradition has two streams to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, that can be summed up under two ways. That the Dionysian mystery stream is the great one, particularly for Europe.
Yeah.
Although it's spread to the Middle East and elsewhere too. The story of Dionysus and Bacon. You know, the Bacon work and Bacon himself is a key into this essential mystery tradition.
Yeah.
Because another word for Dionysus was Bacchus. And the name Bacon in Italian is Bacco. And Bacco was the Italian name for Bacchus.
Yes. Yeah.
Who's Dionysus.
There's this direct link.
Yeah. And then also Bacon's Christian name, Francis, means free. And the title of Bacchus was in Latin was Liber Bacchus, which means Bacchus the free, or Bacchus the liberator, who gives free, who frees others. And so Francis Bacon's actually is the title in English of Dionysus, who's Liber Bacchus.
What are the chances of that
I
happening?
And I think, I know he plays on that. He uses that to help us get into the proper mystery stream and point us in the right direction.
But when you sort of talk about, this is a drama, it's like somebody set this up, set all this up to happen, isn't it? Really?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
And the Dionysian mysteries, they're the ones who have the initial teaching. God is love.
Yes.
God, the first manifestation of God as light in the Bible, is called Eros by the Greeks.
Yeah.
And Eros is love. By God is love. And that's what Jesus taught.
Yes.
I'll talk about this later, but Jesus was a great initiate of the Dionysian mysteries. And everything he acted out to show in terms of initiation degrees was straight from the Dionysian mysteries. And anyway, we'll talk about that another time.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
There's a lot to talk about within that one.
Yeah.
So we've got this one stream which is the Dionysian stream, and the second stream is...
Well, it's usually called the Hermetic wisdom, Hermetic tradition. And Hermes was the name that the Greeks gave to the Egyptian god Thoth, which means truth.
Yes.
But he was also known as Thoth, the thrice greatest.
Yeah.
And so Hermes was called Hermes Trismegistus, which means the thrice greatest. And it means, one interpretation, it means great in power, great in wisdom, great in intelligence, which is seen, classified, like in the Hebrew Kabbalah, as the first three divine principles, the Holy Trinity.
Yeah.
And each of those are aspects of love, the power of love, the wisdom of love, the intelligence of love.
Yeah, yeah.
So to be great in those three. And Thoth was also referred to as, in terms of the Egyptian for that, was Pa-ah, the great, Pa-ah, 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 the great, the great, the great. The R being two A's, and that those two A's were used as the signature of the innermost mystery school, right through the centuries and ages that we've been through.
We're going to have to talk about that as well, aren't we? There's so much here.
Well, one of the great teachings about the Hermes gives out, just to sum it up very fast, is as above, so below, as below, so above, for the doing of the great work. And in other words, there's above, which you call heaven, and there's below, which you call earth.
Yeah.
And that can refer, above is the mind, and the earth is the outer world, the outer body, and so on, where you put the ideas into action.
Yes.
But it can also refer, quite simply, to the sky above and the earth beneath.
Yes, yeah.
And there's wisdom in both, because wisdom, the word of God, logos, or Sophia, created everything, heaven and earth. So it's in both. To come back to Bacon again, divinity and philosophy, heaven and earth.
Yeah.
And it's also in the Bible. The first sentence of Genesis. It's usually translated in English as, "In the beginning, God made heaven and earth."
Yeah.
But if you strictly translate from the Hebrew, it means, "In the beginning, without end, Elohim, the Word, made heaven and earth." And Elohim is plural, and it's not single; it's plural, and it means Abba, Ema, Father, Mother, Divine Father, Divine Mother, Abba, Ema, and they are the Word.
Wow.
Elohim, the Word,
that puts a totally
came
different
heaven and earth, yes.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
And you get the idea that the Father is the heaven,
Yeah.
and the Mother is the earth.
Yeah.
The polarities to each other create everything as a result.
Yes. Yeah. And it makes complete sense.
It makes complete sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is obviously what Jesus taught originally, but then at some point it got lost.
It got corrupted.
It got corrupted.
Basically, yeah.
But we're recovering it now, which is great.
It is. Yes. This is the work we're all doing.
Yes.
We're going to dive into different aspects of the mysteries separately. So, shall we finish here? And let me just finish by saying to people that there are some essays again available on the website. The Dionysian is called European Myth and Mystery. And there's also one called Secrets of the Rosy Cross, because all of this comes into the Rosicrucian work as well, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Okay, so I'll meet you again on another chat and dive deeper into all of this. Thank you, Peter.
Thanks, Sarah.